would consider that. I'm like not trying to like, you know, say that I know better than any other person, but like I'm the one who's going into tutorials and watching girls, and I have so many black friends and I hear so many stories. Like I think I would kind of understand.
Yeah, I mean, you get used to it after
the
a
hair
while.
bit, you know. So, you know, that was just, you know, my thing with him. He puts all he does is put Murray's on his thing, and I'm like, I hate it. I'm like, dude, like, and then he's like, my hair's dry. I'm gonna have to cut it. I'm not eating the right things. I'm like, no, you're just putting a shit ton of Murray's on, and you're putting a ton of product.
Does he wave
and you're
it
not
up?
washing it out, huh?
Does he wave it up every night like a do-rag?
No, and like the thing is that I mean, she got her hair from him. I'm almost positive. Like he has the most beautiful like curl pattern already. Like he doesn't wave it. He doesn't do anything to it.
He just cuts it and it's waved.
Steve just exists in his beautiful little world.
I love when guys can just cut their hair and it's just wavy.
Yeah.
I love, like, oh God. And like, you know,
almost because I'm like,
I haven't. I
it
haven't.
takes. If you ever like, you know, you get back, then instead of you like next day, or, you know, it takes a day and a half, 2 days to come back.
It just depends what I drink. See, I don't really like liquor because I get sick off of it. Basically.
Like there are things that
I'm an IPA guy all day. I love it. I'm not quite sure.
like I would
I was going to say Michigan, but
Into that city, wedding hair.
I
want my
Lagunitas.
daughter.
I like Trogs. If they have Dogfish, I'll drink it.
Like, I mean, no, let me not say that. I don't care.
But like, so at my bar,
I
like,
love,
down
like,
that I always go to, like, just
yeah,
like, I'm
and
not,
like,
going out, like, if I'm going to
it's
watch movies,
hard,
I'll
like,
just
just
see
because
them
of the
always there,
last,
bro. They
maybe
have,
it's just like the
Founder's
type
Pack
of
all
white
the
guys
time,
I date,
Florida.
but like they
And,
just
it's my
don't
favorite beer, so I
understand.
always go
Like
there.
the one that I told you about that was just like a raging asshole. Did I tell you about the Jersey Turnpike thing?
The food's really good.
no.
Jersey.
Well,
Jersey. I'm like 15
it's
minutes
a long
out to-
story, but we got into this fight on the Jersey Turnpike. But that boyfriend, like, we used. And it'll affect if we were to settle down. Exactly, it would affect my child, and like that's why I'm like, I don't know. Like obviously, like you would get to know someone before you guys. You want to move over there?
Yeah.
Kind of want to see you. Obviously, like I would get to know someone like before I got married, but at the same time, it's like I would hope that like if I get married, they
Well, I mean, you can
would
go to
be
so many
supportive
Sam's,
of
Geno's,
like
Pat's.
not only who I am as a person, but like the community that I come from.
Yeah.
And, like that
Sam's
was
is really good.
like my issue with my ex. Like he's like, oh, like I'm like before anything else, I'm black and I'm a woman. And he's like, no, before anything else, you're Kemi. Like you don't have to like you don't have to like put yourself in these groups. And it's like when you
Eagles
look
games
at
are
me,
crazy,
like
just
you
don't
see
wear
a
opposing colors.
woman. Like it's not like
They don't see Kemi.
yeah,
they see black
yeah,
women. You're
exactly.
right. 100.
And it's like as a white man, you don't. I feel like you can't possibly completely understand that. Like you can be supportive of it and you can empathize with it, but like until you, it's like with you, like I can like understand like being Latina in America and like how like the majority will view you and like, but I won't actually know like the intricacies of anything until I walk in your shoes.
Yeah.
Like I can empathize with it. I can like understand and support it, but I'll never be able to fully like live that life.
Yeah. It's I mean, obviously they're two very different things.
Yeah.
But like it's the same thing that I encounter with not just only being Latina, because in all honesty, I'm white passing. Like, I can, like, I have the privilege that I could dye my hair blonde and pop in blue contacts and nobody would know the letter, you know, unless they saw any, like, specific, you know, tendencies that I might have that might be like, you know, where are you from? You know what I mean? Like, I legit white passing, and I know that that's my privilege as, you know, a Latina woman, you know, or a lighter skinned Latina woman, because there are black Latinos, you know, out there. But as a plus size woman, like, unless I'm like losing so much fucking weight that, like, I, you know, which I've tried to do to
They don't have a net?
you know, to pass as like a straight woman. And those have their own things too, because they're constantly looking at me as like, oh, you know, is
Not a
she
model, but
like,
plus size.
yeah, like not a model, but a plus size model, and that's fine. I identify as that, but there's other women that do not.
Yeah.
They don't want to be identified as like plus size, and it's like because they look at it as
it'll get you. It's
like as a negative, and that's really like saying, you know, you are not a woman.
Yeah.
You are, the first thing that I see with you is that you're a full-figured woman and that you're a plus-size woman.
The first time you put that into perspective for me was with the whole Ashley Graham thing and how, I forget exactly what you said.
Yeah, so do I.
Like,
Wait, so do I.
like she didn't want to be viewed as plus size because it like puts you in this box.
Yeah.
Of, like what you can and can't
Why was it you that
like
did the
do, and then
Yeah.
like how I think it was like her Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how like it's seen as risque, but then you also have like
Victoria's
obviously
Secret
yeah.
models that do the exact same thing that aren't looked in the same way.
Yeah.
And I get that, but for her,
I don't get it because at the end of the day, like the whole purpose of like Victoria's Secret models is like to be sexualized.
exactly.
Like, that's the whole point.
Well, exactly. But like, I understand one part of her wanting to like break the mold and be like, I'm not plus size. Like, I'm a regular person just like anybody else. But at the same time, it's so very, very obvious that you're not, and you have this platform to speak on behalf of women that have not seen a woman like you anywhere. It's like saying, oh, I'm like the first black woman to, you know, be on national television, but I'm not black. I don't like to identify as that. I'm just a regular woman. And then all the other women are like, well, if she's not happy being black, then I'm not going to be happy being black. You know, like, I'm not black either. I'm just a woman. Just look at me as a woman. There's no color. You know, there is no color.
It's like if I
Are
was
the
on
Cowboys
here,
playing,
like
do you know
you know how
the
some
Cowboys
Dominican
are playing
women
the
are,
Eagles at
or
Norwich?
some Dominican people are
They
like, I'm
always,
not
so
black, I'm
since the
Dominican.
division, they
Like
play
it's like
both,
that.
they always play both.
But like
It's obvious
as
that you're
soon
black,
as-
girl. Like, it's
as soon as
obvious.
it comes
So,
to
like, for the
like
Texans, you guys
saying
have
the
a
N
culture.
word,
Usually
like,
they
but
play
I'm
Thanksgiving,
black.
don't we?
But like, and like that's what I hate the
Dallas
most.
does always
Like,
play Thanksgiving, but
if
in
you want to
defense,
identify
defense,
something,
I feel like we
you
played
need to
them last year or
always
the year before.
identify. You can't choose
Either way,
based
whenever
on
they
like
come
who
to
your
Dallas,
audience is.
it's probably what you
Which
please
I can
come
understand
and
like
meet me.
leaning into
I love
something
going to
depending on
Hopkins.
like your audience,
Can I
but
go
like
Eagles? I don't know how. I heard that
you
stadium's
can't say
beautiful.
It's
I'm
beautiful.
not
And I
black, I'm
used to
Dominican.
But can I go?
But then
Because,
as soon
people
as it
can't
comes
come
to like being
Eagles
like
Stadium with,
at an
with,
HBCU, it's
Cowboy
like
stuff or
I'm
Yeah, you
black.
know where
Like
you
I'm,
know where
Yeah.
I'm black just like the rest of you. Like
People will
you weren't
probably, like,
yesterday
fuck with you,
when
but-
you didn't want to be.
This is the
So
thing. The only
Yeah,
reason
and
this
that's
is the truth. The only
yeah,
reason
and that's
Eagles fans
that's a
don't like
big.
Cowboys
and
is
but at
because-
the same time,
Cowboys fans are
I
struggling.
No,
can
it's not
kind
even
of
that.
understand
Real
it
people
because
that
like
live in
I
Dallas,
remember
it's fine, but
growing
we live
up
in the East, and you
being
have the
like,
Redskins,
oh,
the
like,
Giants,
you know,
and the
blah, blah,
Eagles.
blah, you're
And
black.
like,
And I'm
you'll
like,
have
well,
like people from like
I
Philly or
am,
from
but
like
like I'm
South Jersey
also
that work
African.
Dallas.
Yeah.
But it's not like
Steve
I'm not
doesn't-
black, I'm African. It's like I'm also.
I think here's the thing. Well, no, because I have a really good friend who's I think I told you he's Ghanaian, and Steve's Trinidadian, and neither of them two consider themselves black. And I think it's because there's a difference between being African American, you know, and that black, and then being African, or being Caribbean, because there's a certain culture that is like instilled in those two areas where you don't necessarily see that in black culture. Like, and not to, like, put Steve on the thing, but like he would say like, I haven't really dated black women. Like, that's just not who he identifies with, mainly because
Please let them be a black American. And then at the bottom of the totem pole, it's like,
yeah.
and like
I heard Turner
it
Field was nice.
to me growing up, it was kind of like,
What's the new one called?
like who the fuck cares if I like someone, I like someone. But as I get older, I understand like the wanting to keep the culture together, and then also wanting to keep the values that foreign culture has. Like when you're not American, there's a completely different like mindset, and like I feel like Americans don't always understand that, and they feel like you're kind of ostracizing yourself, and like it's like an in-group out-group thing. But until you grow up with foreign parents where like education is a priority, family is like, you know, like it's like, and it's different because like Latina culture, I feel like family is like so embraced and like so tight knit, whereas like my family, at least in Nigeria, it's like family is a unit. So like, don't let anything. At the end of the day, it comes back to family, but it's not like an emotional thing. It's more like a like. Like not, I don't want to say cult. That's the wrong word. But like this is like it's tight knit. So like don't let anything penetrate that.
Yeah, regardless what happens. That's how my parents are. It's like,
Exactly.
don't do anything that's going to embarrass us as a unit.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like, don't talk about our business
Exactly.
as a unit. Like,
And at the end of the day, like family is paramount. Like for example, my dad and I went like 4 years without speaking, and then he calls me one day. I don't even know how he texted me. I was about to say because I wouldn't have picked up, but like he texted me and tells me that like he's getting married. I didn't even know he was dating anyone, and that his wedding was on X date. And I was like, okay, I'll get a ticket. Like, because that's how it is. Like, we might not speak, we're not like close, but at the end of the day, like, you can't have a wedding and your daughter's not there. So, but like, I feel like with American culture, it would have been like, I'm not fucking talking to him. Like, like, I'm not going because I'm not talking to him.
yeah.
And like,
It's very,
very, very different. And that's why
yeah.
I understand, like I always